You are looking at the most deadly thing known to mankind. Cigarettes are responsible for more than 400,000 deaths per year. The only thing cigarettes make cool is your body temperature when your heart stops beating due to cardiac arrest or, God forbid, cancer.
Harley. Marlboro. Harley. Marlboro. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Hey everyone, this is Matt, once again from Simplistic Reviews. My good friend and cohort, DJ Valentine, he so graciously told me to watch Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man from 1991. Now, I remember seeing, not seeing this film, but hearing about this film. It was on HBO a lot when I was a kid, and it was always something that might have intrigued me, but I never saw it. So I'm glad he did tell me to watch this film because it is pretty entertaining, definitely in the vein of anything from the early 90s, late 80s in action films. It's a buddy film, and without further ado, here is the plot from beginning to end of Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. So we open the film. I also will be drinking during this as well too. So this isn't drunk history, but this is the way we want to do the show basically. So here we go. I'll finish that whole beer by the end. So 1996, July 4th, Independence Day. It is the 220th anniversary of the founding of America, or our independence, if you will, how they say in the beginning of the movie. And we see a brooding Mickey Rourke. Basically, he just laid a chick. So that's where we're starting with this. And we don't know who this guy is yet. He's just Mickey Rourke, and he's got a shirt off. So he goes downstairs, jumps on his motorcycle, listens to Bon Jovi as we get to California, specifically Burbank. So first thing we see is a very young Kelly Hu, which is always funny to see. And if you do watch this movie, maybe almost back to back with Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, it almost seems like Kelly Hu has the same exact outfit in both films. Changed my mind about that, but I have a sneaking suspicion very, very close. So he takes care of two ruffians who are trying to rob the convenience store because all he wants to really do is get some gasoline for his bicycle. And Kelly was like, "Oh, take all the gas you want." He's like, "No, I pay my own way." So he's a rebel with a heart of gold, but he also knows ninja moves. So next thing we know, we are going to another bar where we meet Don Johnson. We don't know who this guy is, but he's got a cigarette tattooed on his arm, so he might be the Marlboro Man. So he's playing a game of pool and reciting all these rules his dad gave him when he was a young man. My daddy, before he left this piece of shit earth and everything like that, telling this guy while he's kicking his ass in 9-ball, basically. So this guy doesn't take too kindly to this. This is the same guy, I believe, who was also in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the Hawaiian guy who's like, "You're throwing doo-doo paper at me." So same guy. Don Johnson, he sees his buddy, Harley Davidson, walk into the bar, and they start kind of bantering a little bit. And Don Johnson gets into a fight, and he subdues the angry man who didn't want to pay him $500 and let Don Johnson fuck his wife at the same time, or girlfriend, whoever she might be. So we see the two of them riding to a bar called the Rock and Roll Bar and Grill. And they go in, Harley goes in, he knows the owner and everything like that. But he also sees a very angry or very crazy looking Billy Baldwin in this movie too. We don't know who Billy Baldwin is, but we know he's in this movie. So they're talking. Vanessa Williams is singing up on stage and everything like that. This is also kind of like the heyday of Vanessa Williams, where she was a singer, and everybody was really enjoying her as a singer. And then we meet Big John Studd, who's in a very serious arm wrestling match with Giancarlo Esposito, who's the hype man for this arm wrestling match. But Harley and Big John Studd, they don't like each other too much. They have history with Vanessa Williams and all this other bullshit. So they get into a fight. They fly out a window. Harley falls on top of a car with Big John Studd, and they realize they don't really hate each other, so they hug it out, and everything's all good. So what we later find out from the old man at the bar is that Billy Baldwin's part of the Great Trust Bank, and they want to take his bar away because it's worth so much money because Burbank has now become the epicenter of travel in California. This is the future, by the way. This movie took place this was shot in 91. This is what they thought the future was in 1996.
Great Scott!
So they get the bright idea that they're going to rob the bank. They're going to rob the Great Trust Bank. So a robbery ensues and involves a lot of, taking the armored truck down different ways by them disguised as people that are closing down roads, road workers. So robbery ensues, and we find out that it was not a trap, but Billy Baldwin, he's got 4 other henchmen in these black suits, and I got to take a drink. So shootout ensues, but they make it out of there with the money, they think. However, they go back to the old airplane helicopter boneyard, and they discover that it's not money, but it's a new designer drug from 1996 called Crystal Dreams or something like that. So they're like, oh fuck, we got the wrong stuff, and they have to figure out, okay, well, let's turn that lemons into lemonade, and let's call the guy who's part of the bank, and that's Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore is very angry, and he tells you, Alexander, that's Billy Baldwin, you got to kill these guys because they stole my shit. So that's fine. It's all well and good. So cut to this mutual place they go to with Tia Carrere is in the movie too. Her coming off of Wayne's World, basically. I don't know if this came out before or after Wayne's World, but same year, 91. So Tia Carrere looking at she's like, do you want to do business? I'm like, yeah, we're doing business. So they have Alexander meet them in his helicopter at the boneyard, and they say, okay, here's your $2.5 million, and here's your crystal dreams back or something. He's like, thank you. And he also bets Harley bet Marlboro Man $1, and they give him flip him a coin. So he's got $1 coin, so he won the bet. So cut back over to the Rock and Roll Bar and Grill, and everybody's happy and celebrating and doing all that good stuff. And in comes Alexander. Alexander's henchmen, they pull out guns and they kill the old man, and they shoot Giancarlo Esposito, and Big John Studd dies, and they jump out of a window to escape not before they take out 2 of the bad guys. They're trying to escape. They're like, how are these guys finding us? I can't believe they're finding us. But then Harley realizes that the coin they gave him has a secret hidden tracking device inside of it, and that's where Alexander and the goons know where they are and everything like that. So they escape the goons again. This is after they jumped off a pool, just like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. This movie is fucking Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in a lot of fucking ways. So that's the modern day Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Or you can say Way of the Gun is the modern day Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I digress. Of course, Harley has a big plan. So the plan is, we know that we got the tracking device. Let's let them know we're at this plane graveyard or something, and a big shootout ensues, and Marlboro Man gets shot a couple times, and also throughout the entire film, Harley is a horrible shot. He can't shoot, whereas Marlboro Man's like a dead-eye shooter and everything like that too. So of course, come the end, Harley makes the shot that saves Marlboro Man's life, because he has to have the one shot that kills him, and Alexander's dead, his goons are dead. So there's only one thing left to do. You got to get to that Great Trust Bank and go to Tom Sizemore and say, hey man, you killed our friends, and we want to make this deal with you, but you're not going to make a deal, so we're going to kill you anyway. So moment of suspense. You think they're caught because they got goons with shotguns on them, and next thing you know, the helicopter, oh yeah, by the way, there's a helicopter pilot that Harley Davidson gives him money. He's like, you work for us now. So he comes down, he's got a secret gun inside of his helicopter. He kills the 2 goons, and then Marlboro Man and Tom Sizemore, they have kind of like a really weak fight, while Tia Carrere is sitting in the corner like, oh my god, I can't. She says like 3 words in this, maybe 1 line in the entire movie. So maybe 3 words, like, do you have business here? So needless to say, the 2 guys win. Tom Sizemore falls to his death in a really horrible green screen. You think the green screen behind me is bad. This is even worse than that fucking green screen in this movie. So that's awful. So you have, basically at the end, they win. They get the money, I guess. And Marlboro Man goes back to being a rodeo rider, because that's what his dad was, and that's what he was in Las Vegas. He tried to leave the past behind him by being a pool shark, I guess, beating Polynesian men. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. So as Harley Davidson's riding away on his motorcycle, he picks up a chick as like hitching a ride, and she gets on, straddles him, and they go off into the sunset, and that's the end of the movie. So, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, whatever the fuck you want to call this movie from 1991.
Tell you something, I hated the fucking 90s.
90s fucking sucked.
90s fucking sucked.